Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Shoney's Tuesday Night Racing Series here with the Doghouse Racing League on iRacing. Thanks for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in with us tonight. Sorry for a little bit of a late start. We got a little technical issues on our end, but we got those worked out. We're getting ready for the action here at Iowa Speedway. Taking a look at the leaderboard currently, you see that's Andrew Lucas up at the top of the leaderboard. Jonathan Jennings sits back in second, Lucas Edwards in third, Tyler Millette and Mark Dumont round out your top five currently on the speed charts. Well, let's take a look at the points coming into tonight after last week. Leader Chris Luftwich sits back in second. Chad Waller, Justin McMahon, and Lucas Edwards, your top five. And Michael Samia, Ricky Hudges, Chuck Cobb, Michael Hayes, and Steve Gerber round out your top 10. And we'll leave this on the screen so you see where your favorite driver is currently in the top 20. Again, sorry for the late start, but we're getting ready for qualifying to start here tonight. Here in the Iowa Corn 95. Let's see where our first drivers are hit the racetrack. Looks like it's going to be Chris Luftwich in the 13. Iowa's a very tricky track, short track racing here tonight. But what makes it tricky is because of progressive banking, you almost want to run the high lane here. But as you enter turn number one, there's a lot of bumps getting down into the corner here. And it's really easy to overdrive the corner. Hamilton Park can walk right up the track. So watch for that tonight. Drivers up on that high side having some issues here tonight. Last week's winner, Jonathan Jennings, just jumped up to the top of the speed chart. Off of turn number 4 and down to the stripe. He's currently going to be your fastest car. But here's Andrew Lucas, who's fastest in practice. See if he's able to translate that over to qualifying here. Now he's going to be good enough for second place currently. How about Justin McMahon coming into turn number 3? And down to the stripe. Justin McMahon's going to jump up into 6th. And immediately get bumped back by Steve Gerber, who takes over that 5th spot. Here's Lucas Edwards. Finished his qualifying attempt in the 4th position. Chris excited to make his way down the racetrack, and if you're watching, I apologize, I don't have the chat up just yet. So technical issues. A little bit of a late run here tonight. That's okay. We're here with you live and getting ready for all the action here from Iowa Speedway. Here's the 66 of Chad Waller making his way around the racetrack currently. Waller's going to slot into the 10th position. Here's Chuck Cobb in his first fall through tonight. Oh, Chuck loses it there off of turn number 4, and that's going to do it for his qualifying attempt. We have 3 drivers left to qualify. That's Mike Leftwich, Eddie Rivers, and Eric Scott. As we are just got about, let's see here, we have about 50 seconds left here in qualifying. And we want to thank all of our great partners here tonight, everybody watching at home, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in to us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting, on iRacing with the Doghouse Racing League. Of course, we want to thank our great partners here as well, including put the sponsors up for the league. You've got Shoney's. This is the Shoney's Tuesday Night Racing Series. Of course, Group 6, Simpson Design Shop, and Fanatics all coming on board. Of course, you can check out the Doghouse website as well down at the link below at the Doghouse or doghouseracingleague.com. You can find their merch there and help support their league and their channel here. Of course, want to thank all of our great partners here as well that makes this league possible. But first, let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight. And starting on pole here tonight will be the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, with Andrew Lucas starting from his outside. Row 2 will find Christopher Leftwich and Lucas Edwards, followed by Steve Gerber and Chuck Cobb in the 6th spot. Mike Hayes rolls off from 7th with Jason Palmer back in 8th. Justin McMahon and Mark Dumont round out your top 10. Chad Waller is going to roll off from the 11th spot with John Smith back in the 12th position. 13th will be Baker Knapp with Tyler Millette back in 14th. Daniel Wilkerson rolls off from the 15th spot with Gary Clune in 16th. Christopher Simon and Steven Bunomo make up row number 9. And Gary Amio and Tyler Schoening back in row 10. 21st will be Kevin Brown with Jeffrey Engel from the 22nd position. 23rd, Michael Dow with Richard Leclerc back in 24th. Bill Gentry from the 25th spot. Mike Leftwich rolling off 26th. 27th will be Eric Scott, and rounding out the field will be Eddie Rivers. As the cars make their way out onto the racetrack behind the pace car, of course, I want to thank all of our great partners here. There we go. Now we got the grid off of the screen there. As the field makes their way off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. And Jonathan Jennings is going to lead them down to the start of this race. But we're going to go one more lap. I apologize. Well, let's get in our league sponsorship. Doghouse Racing League is proud to be sponsored by Shoney. Shoney is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's delicious food and friendly service since 1947. First Doghouse Racing League is also partnered with Fanatics. They own commissions when you purchase through the link below. And they use the commissions to help fund the league. So you can check out the whole list of items there and links down below in the description. Of course, our great partners over at Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching setup needs. IntensityBroadcasting.com helps support our channel. Of course, the butt kicker. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But here we go. Now the green flag is in the air. Jonathan Jennings leads the field down towards turn number 1. Lucas trying to make something happen up on that high side. Chris Lefferts right there in the tire marks as well. As they come across the stripe to start lap number 1, Jonathan Jennings is going to be your leader for the first lap here. So we've got a battle back here between Mike Hayes and Jason Palmer. You see Justin McMahon in this battle as well. Do a 3 wide. Justin McMahon jumps to the middle here. Now he's going to go down to the bottom. Still going to be 3 wide, but McMahon trying to get a 2 for 1 down into turn number 1. Palmer up on that high side. Has to deal with those bumps, which can be treacherous here. Now Palmer fighting back hard on that high side, but McMahon is going to take that position away. He's going to set his sights on the 81 of Chuck Cobb. Further back in the pack, we've got Jeffrey Engel under attack from the 50 of Michael Dow down into turn number 1. Oh, Engel caught those bumps, and you see that car here way out of shape. That's going to give a major advantage to that 50 as they come down the backstretch. Up front, though, we've got a battle heating up here for the lead as we've got 3 cars under a blanket. Jonathan Jennings, Andrew Lucas, and Chris Leftwich. Trying to find some grip. Doesn't look like he's going to find anything up there. Or you might have a little bit of a run here going down into turn number 1, putting Andrew Lucas up on the high side, and caution is out for the first time. And we've got Gary Clune around on the front stretch. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. Can we take a look? Excuse me, a look to see what happened to the 45 of Clune. Oh, some contact there. Looks like it would be 7 of Gary Armillo. So that brings out our first caution of the night. As Jenny picks up the pace car. Actually, Gary Clune did come down pit road. He was the only driver to make his way down on the pit road. Fortunately, he will be able to stay on the lead lap. Of course, we want to, as I mentioned before, we want to thank our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Looks like when they come across the stripe this time, the lights on the pace car will be going off. We'll have 1 lap to go before we go back green flag racing. And if you're used to tuning in here for the doubleheader, we will not have the doubleheader. The SCSRA crowned their champions last week. Their all-star race will be tomorrow night over on Noma TV. But they'll be returning in a few weeks' time, but we'll still have the Doghouse Racing League right here live on Intensity Broadcasting for the remainder of the season. Looks like we're going to go 1 more lap before the lights go off on the pace car, so. We'll have to see if Jonathan Jennings chooses the inside or outside lane here on this restart. caution like that, as flat as Iowa is, as tricky on the tires as this track is, because this track does eat up tires pretty quickly. Surprised you may not have seen a few other drivers hit pit road right there. Galligan says good luck. We know she's rooting on Christopher Simon, who is currently running back in the 17th position. There we go, lights are off on the pace car. 1 lap to go before we go back green flag racing. Jonathan Jennings will choose the high lane, putting Chris Leftwich down on the low side. As the pace car makes its way off of turn number 4, we're going to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Jonathan Jennings is going to lead him back down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we are back racing here at Iowa. Jonathan Jennings already out to a big jump over Christopher Simon down into turn number 1. Let's come off turn number 2. Looks like Steven Gerber is going to round out in that 3rd spot. Simon trying to make something happen here. Try to take the lead away. Jaguar car's back here. See Mark Dumont down on the low side, trying to get out Lucas Edwards. Edwards did not have a very good start there. He's falling back here on this restart. Running up on that high side, not to follow podium to Chad Waller down on that low side as well. Meanwhile, Justin McMahon making his presence felt as he goes around the high side of Steven Gerber, moves himself up into the 3rd spot. Now, Justin McMahon takes over that final podium position while we've got a battle heating up for the lead as Chris Leftwich is all over the back bumper of John Jennings. So the YouTube chat, you see the shout out there from Jeff and Christopher Simon, so welcome back and good luck. As right now Christopher Simon starting to move his way through the field. Currently back in the 16th position. Kevin Brown got a little loose there off of turn number 4. That's going on Simon to roll right around the outside. Trying to take over that 15th position. As the race goes on, the sun's going to go down, the track's going to cool down, and the speeds are going to pick up. Tyler Millette already up 7 spots, trying to work down to the inside of Chad Waller. Oh, Waller really loose there off of turn number 4. Able to gather it up, though, as Millette rolls the bottom to take over that 7th position. The battle up front is continuing. Now Justin has made his way into the mix. He's right there on Chris Leftwich's back bumper. Make his way up to the front to try to get a win here tonight. Caution back out on the racetrack. Looks like Jeffrey Engel and John Smith still having some issues getting things straightened out here. I'm just going to bring up another record rewind. As we try to take a look to see exactly what happened here. It looks like John Smith forced in the middle there. We see the 50 of Michael Dow on the low side, and looks like Engel might have came down a little bit there. And yeah, right down in John Smith, and to make heavy contact with the outside wall. A tough break for those two drivers, kind of just caught up in the middle there, 3 wide. Looks like some drivers coming down pit road. We've got Lucas Edwards, Jason Palmer, Brian Knapp, Tyler Shoney, Eddie Rivers, Eric Scott, Richard Leclerc, Andrew Lucas, as well as the 2 drivers that were just involved in that incident, all making their way down pit road. So pit road is a busy place right now. Looks like most drivers coming down taking tires and fuel here. As we cross the line this time, we'll have just 75 laps to go. Don't forget to join us on Thursday night, as we'll have the Thunderstruck series on Thursday night, the INSS on Sunday night, more Thunderstruck action on Monday nights. The INSS will do the iRacing Northern Super Series. Will be rounding out their season this Sunday. They will be taking on Lucas Oil Speedway in their season finale. So if you like short track racing, that's the street stock's going to be there. You don't want to miss that. Tune in right here on Intensity Broadcasting. Coming across stripe this time. Looks like we got the 2 to go signal. The lights on the pace car will be shutting off when they come across the line next time by. We'll restart with 72 laps to go. I want to thank all of our great sponsors here in the league. As I cover the entire race there. So there you go. There's your supporters. Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Race Design Shop, Fanatics, all helping out to support the league. And the league does very much thank your support. Of course, Fanatics coming on this season as a league sponsor. Any commissions earned through the link down below in the description will help with the Doghouse Racing League, so you can check all that out down at the link down below. Here we go. We're re-racked, restacked, and ready to refire this time. Jonathan Jennings chooses the inside lane, putting Chris Leftwich up on the high side. And Justin McMahon right behind him. Steve Gerber up on that high side, then Chuck Cobb and Mark Dumont back in row number 3. As the field makes their way into turn number 4. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn. Down on the pit road, green flag. Back in the air. We are back racing. Another great jump from Jonathan Jennings as Jess McMahon and Chris Leftwich go door-to-door into turn number 1. They come off of turn number 2, and McMahon's going to have a little bit of an advantage. He's going to have the low lane going down into turn number 3. You see Leftwich way up high. a dime in the corner to give himself a little bit of momentum there. Behind we see Steve Gerber and Mark Dumont just make a little bit of contact, and Dumont's going to take that position away as here comes Chad Waller into the mix here as well. Is now Justin McMahon able to fully clear, well, almost fully clear the 13 of Chris Leftwich. Now we see the 24 machine fully cleared. He's going to set his sights on Jonathan Jennings. He's going to look up to the high side and try to get it done. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted that whole time. Justin McMahon now taking a look down to the inside, trying to take the lead away. Jennings are able to hold him off. It's Chris Leftwich able to hold on to that third spot. Chad Waller and Mark Dumont settle it out. Now Waller up into the fourth position. Here comes Dumont taking a look down to the inside. For the back, we've got a fight back here between the 4 of Bill Gentry and the 50 of Michael Dow. And just behind that, we see the 45 of Gary Clune and Eddie Rivers battling back here. With Jets asking where Chris Simon is, he's battling right now with Kevin Brown. It's a battle for the 11th position as he's trying to crack in to the top 10. Right behind Simon, we see the 9 of Steven Bonello. He's trying to find his way around that 27 machine. 22 of Mike Hayes makes his way down to the 81 of Chuck Dodd. And here comes Tyler Millette in that 78. I'm trying to Daniel Wilkerson in that 78. Trying to make something happen here down on the low side. Tyler Millette and Steve Gerber now battling it out. This is a battle for the 6th position. So battles all over the racetrack. That's the wonderful thing about Iowa is it's such a it's a short track, but it's wide. There's progressive banking. It allows for a lot of different lines, a lot of racing to be had around this little track. You see Gerber, Mike Hayes continue to battle it out here. This is a battle for the 8th position. Neil runs up the track just a little bit. Almost gets into the side of Mike Leftwich. Back here we see Eddie Rivers, Bill Gentry, Eric Scott, Gary Clune all battling it out back here. There's some 3-wide racing. With the 15 of Eddie Rivers up on the high side. Tight 3-wide. Gary Mio. A little bit of contact there between Mio and Eric Scott. They get it sorted out down into turn number 1. Meanwhile, hard racing up at the front. As we see the 114 of Mark Dumont take a look down underneath Waller yet again. Tyler Millette and the 22 of Mike Hayes into this mix as well. So from second back to 7th. Pretty much under a blanket as we see some more side-by-side racing up here. But while that's going on, Jonathan Jennings just pulling away. He's got over a second lead over this group as they're battling side-by-side hard as here comes Chris Leftwich taking a look down to the inside. He almost slides up in front of Waller. Waller now has a little bit of run up on that high side. Thought they were going to have it sorted out behind Justin McMahon there, but they continue to go at it side by side. Chris Leftwich, Mike Hayes. Looks like one driver got a little loose there off the corner, almost went down on the pit road. That's the 50 of Michael Dow, who's now starting to slide back a little bit. Meanwhile, we still have this battle going on here between the 45 of Eddie Rivers, I'm sorry, the 15 of Eddie Rivers and the 45 of Gary Kuhn. Gary O'Neill and Ty Shoney also here in the mix. So they're racing just as hard back here, the 15th and 16th, as they are up for the lead, as Chris Leftwich has Tyler Millette taking a look down to the inside as they come down the backstretch. Millette still trying to find a way by that 13 of Chris Leftwich, but that's not going to happen now as up front, Justin McMahon being challenged by the 66 of Chad Waller. Waller has to tuck it back behind as now he's going to take another dive down to the inside. Going into turn number one, and Chad Waller, I think he's going to be able to take that position away. There comes the 22 of Mike Hayes into the mix here as well. We are quickly approaching 50 laps to go, just 53 laps to go in the contest. Mike Hayes takes a look down to the inside of Justin McMahon. And Jonathan Jennings still way out in front, almost a second and a half lead over second place, Chad Waller. And now forced up onto the high side. He's going to have to succeed that third position. Back we see Mark Dumont and Chris Leftwich battling it out for the 6th spot. Further back in the pack, still more battling going on between Gary O'Neill. That is the one of Jason Palmer. Palmer keeps getting a good run down into the corner, but O'Neill gets a good run off the corner. Neither one of these have the real advantage here. Just in front of them, we see Ty Shoney and Mike Leftwich going at it. The battle for the 16th position. Christopher Simon has now cracked the top 10. He's working over in the back bumper of Chuck Cobb, trying to take over the 8th position. And it looks like we have our first takers down on the pit road. Here is the 4 of Bill Gentry, coming down to get his service done here. So he will go down a lap. Three-way battle back here. 4th, 5th, and 6th, Tyler Millette, Justin McMahon, Mark Dumont. Here comes Christopher Simon. We'll look down to the inside to take over the 8th position from Chuck Cobb. Just behind we see Kevin Brown and Steve Gerber going at it. Daniel Wilkerson right there in the tire tracks as well. As I mentioned earlier, battles all over the racetrack, and we're seeing that. We have just 46 laps to go. Justin McMahon right there on the back bumper, but not able to make the move on Dumont. Meanwhile, Kevin Brown, Steve Gerber side by side. And Justin McMahon now hits pit road. He's going to be the first of our leaders to come down and pit. Now, what are the rest of our leaders going to do? They know that McMahon just came down pit road. They got to be thinking they don't want to lose too much time, as fresh tires are going to be everything here. Chris Leftwich now down on the pit road. He's going to move Christopher Simon up into the 6th position. Leftwich would be a long, slow ride down pit road. See Jonathan Jennings past pit road. Most of our leaders coming out or coming by pit road. Battle back here between Steve Bonomo and Gary Quinn. Quinn able to take that position away. Further back, you see Ty Shoney taking a look down to the 9 of Stephen Bonomo. Now, Daniel Wilkerson battling side by side with the 20 of Eric Scott. Now, to put in perspective here, last time by, Justin McMahon running 24:06. Jonathan Jennings is running 25s right now, so. The tire fall off is almost 2 seconds. So Justin McMahon's going to try to make hay while the sun shines. As here comes Daniel Wilkerson down on pit road. The leader continues to stay out. Mike Leftwich side by side with the 50 of Michael Dow. Road drivers down on pit road. We see Kevin Brown making his way down pit road. Also Steve Bonomo down on pit road. Battle continues right here in front of Justin McMahon on those fresh tires. He splits them up through the middle, and now that really shows the difference that fresh tires have over the field. See Steve Gerber down, coming down to pit road. Stephen Bonomo is down and away. To pit road there, that's John Smith, who had a ton of damage. Looks like he's going to be done for the day. Here comes Eric Scott down on the pit road. So now when are our leaders going to make their way down pit road? Mike Hayes, 3rd place pitting, so is Tyler Millette from the 6th position. Jonathan Jennings, he's going to try to run this up. Nope, I take that back. Here comes Jonathan Jennings down on the pit road. There's your leader, Chad Waller, follows him down on the pit road as well. Christopher Simon coming down pit road. That's going to give the lead to the 114 of Mark Dumont. How many laps is Dumont going to go before he decides to come down pit road? Looks like he's going to come this time. That's going to give the lead over to Gary Clune, unless Clune makes his way down pit road. He's going to be forced to pass pit road here, as we see the 13 of Christopher Leftwich working around the 45. Looks like it worked out for Justin McMahon, as he is now currently ahead of Chris Leftwich and Jonathan Jennings. Jennings, though, right there, he is on much fresher tires. About 10 lap fresher tires for Jennings, who just got around your leader, Gary Clune, who continues to stay out and circulate the track. With Eddie Rivers back in second, Andrew Lucas back in third, as you see Christopher Simon working down to the inside at 77. Mike Leftwich now just coming down on the pit road. So that is going to leave just our top six left to pit. Jonathan Jennings has run down Chris Leftwich. He's trying to take away what's going to be the second position when the rest of the field comes down pit road. Here comes Gary Clune down on the pit road. So Jennings with a head of steam trying to run down McMahon. Wow, big wiggle out of the 24 of Justin McMahon as they come down into turn number 3. Jennings is going to run side by side as they come across the line. Just 30 laps to go before we settle it here tonight. And Jennings is going to retake the lead. And we do have a few drivers who are still left to pit. So the 15 of Eddie Rivers, 77 of Andrew Lucas, Baker Knapp, Richard Leclerc, all still left to pit. See Kevin Brown and Chuck Cobb right in front there. They are on fresh tires. And the 15. Eddie Rivers goes way up the racetrack. Got those bumps down into turn number 1. Shot him up the racetrack and up into the outside wall. And talked about that in the pre-race show. How treacherous turn 1 can be. Now we see Jonathan Jennings with over a second lead over second place, what will be second place, Justin McMahon and Chad Waller. As Chris Leftwich now trying to hold off, or try and get back to Waller here, get himself back onto the podium. As Waller now challenging Justin McMahon, and Waller is going to take over what will be the second spot. See the 60 of Mike Leftwich on fresher tires. He is currently being slowed a lap down. Now Richard Leclerc coming down on the pit road yet again. Continues to stay out and circulate the track up in the lead. our top three, Andrew Lucas, Eddie Rivers, and Baker Knapp, all did pit on lap number 19. So they had a little bit more fuel in the tank than some of the other drivers. They're just trying to catch a caution flag here. Maybe they can get themselves off cycle and force everybody else to have to come down pit road if the caution was to come out. Meanwhile, we have another battle heating up on the racetrack. It's the battle for 8th place between Mike Hayes, Chris Leftwich, Christopher Simon here in the mix as well. Simon gets around Leftwich, moves Christopher Simon up into the 8th position. Now he's trying to work on the back bumper of Mike Hayes, trying to take over that 7th spot. While that's going on, you see Justin McMahon continues to fall back, currently being scored in the 6th spot and in danger of losing a few more spots. So here comes Mike Hayes down to the inside. I wonder if there's any damage on that 24 machine, because he is sliding backwards right now. We saw him get a little loose a couple times. I don't know if he made contact with the outside wall. Let's take a look at that car as it comes by. No, it doesn't look like there's any damage with that 24 as he runs way up the track into those bumps. Now Christopher Simon trying to take a look down to the inside and move himself up into the 7th position. So Christopher Simon's up 9 spots from where he started, but your biggest movers right now are Eddie Rivers, who currently sits back in the 2nd position. Again, he still has to pit though. As Jonathan Jennings has just gotten around Baker Knapp. That's going to bring Jonathan Jennings up into the top 3. There's another battle on track between Christopher Simon and Tyler Millette. This is a battle for the 8th position. Millette's going to take that position away from Walker. There goes Chad Waller around Baker Knapp. So the real question is, when is Jonathan Jennings, when is Eddie Rivers and Andrew Lucas, excuse me. When is Eddie Rivers and Andrew Lucas planning on pitting? As Rivers now in danger of losing another position, as we see the 50 underneath, that is a lap car, so that is not for position, but that 66 diving down to the bottom, that is for position as they come off of turn number 2. And Waller is going to move himself up into what will be the 2nd position when Andrew Lucas pits. 15 laps to go. Does Andrew Lucas have enough in the gas tank to try to make it to the end? We ride along here with Lucas to see if he's saving anything here. We'll listen. Doesn't sound like he's dropping the clutch or anything or doing anything that could save a little bit of fuel. He has a hard charging Jonathan Jennings. You see that 2nd white and red car. That is Jonathan Jennings. Has the 9 of Stephen Bonomo right in front of him. Eddie Rivers now makes his way down on the pit road, which tells me Andrew Lucas has to be coming soon. He can't have that much more fuel in the tank. Looks like he's going to pass by pit road again. And we come to 12 laps to go. Jennings has made his way around Bonomo the lap traffic. He is right there. Speed-wise, he's about 3/4 of a second a lap quicker than the 77 of Andrew Lucas, and there he goes, right out by Lucas, as Lucas gonna peel down on the pit road this time. Jonathan Jennings gonna take over the lead. Chad Waller back in second. Mike Hayes back in the third spot. And Lucas snuck into the fourth position. That's Christopher Simon trying to get onto the podium here tonight at Iowa. And Christopher Simon's got some speed. He is running down Mike Hayes. And Jonathan Jennings comes by the stripe here. We have just 10 laps to go. Tyler Millette and Justin McMahon battling it out. This is a battle for the 5th spot. Millette down to the bottom, trying to take that spot away. There's a little slider there on McMahon and moved himself up into the 5th spot. Meanwhile, Christopher Simon still gaining on the 22 of Mike Hayes. As we are quickly approaching the end of this race, does he have anything for Hayes? It's one thing to run a guy down, it's another thing to get by him. We'll have to see if he's got enough there in that car to get around. Meanwhile, 114 of Mark Dumont taking a look down to the inside of Kevin Brown. That's going to move Dumont up into the 11th position. Take a look off the back bumper of Mike Hayes at that 27 of Christopher Simon. That's the wrong direction. Let's go with that one. You can see that interval is now just under, right at a 10th of a second. Simon's trying to make the move down to the inside. And he is there. He's going to use that 60 car of Leftwich as a pick as they come down the backstretch side by side. And into turn number 3. Christopher Simon's going to move himself up onto the podium. But don't look now. Here comes Mike Hayes with the head of steam trying to hold on to that spot. Now Hayes is going to be able to use that 60 of Leftwich as a pick. Ooh, Leftwich drives into the corner really deep, almost catches Hayes. Christopher Simon had to take a little bit of evasive maneuver. We have 4 laps to go as this battle for the final podium spot is heating up. Jonathan Jennings comes across the line. We have 3 laps to go. He's got a comfortable lead over second place Chad Waller. And right now the battle that's on track, that's most interesting, is going to be for that final podium spot between Mike Hayes and Christopher Simon. We're quickly approaching 2 laps to go. And further back, we see Michael Dow taking a look down underneath Eric Scott. This is a battle for the 16th position. Jennings makes his way off of turn number 2, and Chad Waller starting to gain a little bit on Jennings, but not enough time as they're coming down to the stripe to take 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air. And Christopher Simon is there as he takes the white flag. He is right there on the back bumper of Mike Hayes as they go side by side down into turn number 1. As a battle for the final podium spot as they come off of turn number 4. Jonathan Jennings is going to get the win. Into turn number 3, Christopher Simon down on the low side. Mike Hayes up on the high side. Hayes really loses to come across the line, and Hayes is going to hold on to that final podium spot. Christopher Simon gave it all he could with a great run, making up 13 spots up into the 4th position. But as the fireworks fly, Jonathan Jennings gets the win here tonight at Iowa Speedway. Jonathan Jennings burns it down here on the front stretch, as we've said time and time again. The winner here tonight, the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. As he tries to burn it down all the way down the front stretch. We'll take a look at the final results. Yeah, Jonathan Jennings gets the win. Chad Waller brings it home in 2nd. Mike Hayes back in the 3rd spot. Christopher Simon comes up just short in 4th. And Tyler Millette back in the 5th spot. 6th was Justin McMahon. Steve Gerber back in 7th. Chuck Cobb with a great run in 8th. Chris Leftwich and Mark Dumont round out your top 10. Ty Schoening back in 11th. Kevin Brown back in 12th. Baker Knapp finishes 13th. Bill Gentry and Daniel Wilkerson round out your top 15. Michael Dow back in the 16th position. 17th was Eric Scott. Steve Bonomo back in 18th. Mike Leftwich and Andrew Lucas round out your top 20. 21st was Eddie Rivers. Gary O'Meal back in 22nd. Richard Leclerc 23rd. Gary Clune, Jason Palmer, John Smith, Lucas Edwards, and Jeffrey Engel round out the field here tonight in the Iowa Corn 95 as we get ready to talk to our podium finishers. But before we do, we want to give a quick shout out to all of our great partners here, including, of course, Fanatics. Link down below. Anything you buy from the link down below does help out the league, as well as some of the other sponsors here, including Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Design Shop, and of course Fanatics. As we know, the Tuesday night racing series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar or take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. So as we get ready to talk to our top finishers, let's start with our 3rd place finisher. Trying to get the logos here on the broadcast to make it look kind of nice. Let's take a talk with our 3rd place finisher, Mike Hayes. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. Do you got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, a great run for you here tonight, coming home 3rd. A little bit of strategy involved in there to get yourself up towards the front. Talk us through that race, and obviously you pit a little bit earlier than some of the other drivers out there that were able to make that work. I know, what was the strategy out there on the mind tonight to try to get yourself the podium that you got?
Well, after last week at Texas, I was just going to follow the leader no matter what, so... yeah, I mean, I was contemplating pitting on that, I think it was that 2nd caution. I was really contemplating coming down to get tires then, but I don't know if I would have been able to make that time up, being way back in the field, but yeah, just kind of following the leader through that green flag run, but I couldn't really tell who was all pitting. I knew the guys in front of me haven't pitted, so I thought I would kind of like try to get a few laps ahead and pit ahead, but didn't seem to work out too good because I still finished, 7 seconds behind.
Yeah,
Plus, I don't.
Yeah, it was about 7 seconds behind Jennings there.
I didn't have the speed as those two guys either, man. They were lightning quick.
Well, this is a tough track to get around, a tough track to pass, especially with those bumps down into turn number 1. Did that play anything, trying to get through or in your thought process about being stuck back in the back if you were to pit early because you know how hard it is to pass here?
Yeah, I mean, I saved my tires pretty good on that first stint and that first green flag run, and I was able to pass pretty good, but on that second one, and it was tough. So yeah, it is hard to pass here, and I don't think I was gonna be able to gain all those spots back up if I did pit on that second caution. So I think I played the best strategy that I could with the car I had.
Yeah, and just the two cautions early in the race. Kind of surprising we didn't have one a little bit later in the race. As hard as people was driving, were you kind of hoping for a catch a caution there towards the end? Maybe kind of get on pit road and be equal tires with Jennings and them.
I'm gonna be honest, not really. I knew I for sure didn't have any short run speed, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, I say yeah, but then we have that late race restart and got a big wreck or something and finished way in the back. So I mean, you just never know. It's hard. It's hard with these races.
Well, great job. I love watching the Xfinity races. The racing's been fantastic. I know it's a totally different animal than the trucks. So, again, congrats on the podium finish here tonight. And, Mike, before we let you go, anyone to thank, any shots you got to give?
Yeah, shout out to the league, Doghouse. I'm making a return to the league. I'm gonna be running the Xfinity and the Cup season this year, so excited about that. Shout out to actually DJ Honeycutt. He made this awesome scheme for me for the Xfinity car, and he also made one for me for the Cup scheme. So huge shout out to him. And then, as always, shout out to you guys for broadcasting it. It's always fun to go back and watch these races.
Appreciate that, man. And, again, good to see you back in the league. Congratulations on the podium on your return, and good luck next week at, I believe we moved to Daytona next week, if I'm not mistaken. Is that?
I'm gonna be. I'm not sure.
I know. I keep forgetting to take a look at the schedule. I know it's on the website, not in the Discord, so that's what throws me off. Well, regardless, good luck next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a great one. As your third place finisher, Mike Hayes, Chad Waller did not join the Discord, so we're going to talk to our winner here tonight, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Man, a great run. Another win for you here tonight with me in the booth. It seems like I must be your good luck charm or something. But, man, you were fast out there tonight. But strategy they were trying to get the strategy over on you. Did that concern you watching everybody kind of pit a little bit earlier than you pitted? I know McMahon came down on lap, I believe it was lap 50. You pit on lap 60. So did you think that them pitting a little bit earlier might be advantageous, or did you know that the long run speed would be there at the end?
No. I thought they would lead me by more than what they did, but I actually pitted sooner than I wanted to. But, to take advantage of the fresh tires, I had to pit sooner than later, so I decided to go ahead and come in, hopefully drag everybody up with me.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like the fall off was all that much, as when McMahon went in, he was about a second and a half quicker than you. Did that kind of surprise you as well? I know this track usually chews up tires, especially due to the bumps down there in turn number one. Is it kind of surprising you? It surprised me that the fall off was as much as it was.
Actually, the fall off was more than what I practiced, so I don't think we fell off more than like 7/10 or 8/10, something like that. Yeah, the fall off surprised me because I figured it'd be a lot more here.
Well, regardless, these Xfinity cars definitely been put on some good races, and lots of new faces up at the front for me at least. Chad Waller will be up there battling with you. Chris Leftwich, Justin McMahon coming back through the field. I mean, it's great when you have great competition like that too. So, coming to the end of the race, though, I know it had to be on your mind that we were going to get a late race caution, being that it's a short track like that. Did that? I know it usually never concerns you because you're pretty good on these restarts, but putting everybody on equal tires, did that get into your head, or did you think about that there coming down to the end?
Uh, yeah, it always does, but the thing that concerned me was whether the pit or not, take two or take four. That's knowing what to do when I go down pit road is a problem.
Yeah, it seems like since the oval refresh iRacing did not too long ago, the 2-tire is actually it can actually work now. So, but again, Jonathan, great win here tonight, dominating fashion as usual. Of course, before I let you go, the floor is yours. Anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for putting these things on every week. The sponsors, Shoney's, Group 6, Phonetic, or however you pronounce it, and Simpson Design Shop.
Yep, Fanatics. That is correct. We'll have to get you. We'll have to get you a script for next week. But but no, a great job. I know next week we move on to Daytona, and you always call that one the crapshoot because it is. But
Yeah.
good luck surviving the super speedway next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your winner, Jonathan Jennings, again in dominating fashion here at Iowa in the Iowa Corn 95. That's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in here with us tonight. Don't forget to check out our great partners down in the links below, including the Doghouse Racing League's website, where you can find their standings, stats, news, and their merch store. So check that out down below at doghouseracing.com. Of course, Fanatics, you can use the link down below. Any commissions will help support the league. Of course, all the great partners that they have over here, Group 6, Simpson Race Designs as well. Shoney's our series sponsor. Don't forget to check out their West Virginia locations. Of course, our great partners at Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. The Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. And, of course, our website over at intensitybroadcasting.com. So that's going to do it for us here tonight from Iowa. Don't forget to tune in next week right here as they go from the short track here in Iowa. They pack up trucks, head east over to Daytona International Speedway for some super speedway racing. So again, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. As our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.